There was a few modifications to this from what we last saw at the end of round 12, which was at Laguna Seca about 8 days ago. Joe Manning still leads, but that gap only 3 points now to Tom Lightbody in second place. And then Harkima, a further 7 off the lead. But we're not ruling out Gherkin Actonese either. So those top 4 certainly all feeling like they're in with a shout, because Actonese's form has probably been the best of the 4 over the past 6 races. The Turkish driver very much making a late charge for the championship here. So here we are then with the cars lined up for what I assume is race 1, because A, the replay was labelled race 1, B, it took place, it's got the earliest timestamp of the 3, and also the cars are in the order that I sort of expected them to be in. So we've got Harkima on the front row with McDermott on the right-hand side as we see it there. Behind them, we have got the 2 yellow cars of Williams and Lightbody. Championship leader Joe Manning is behind his 2 rivals. He is 5th with fellow American Buffonius in 6th position alongside him. And then on the row behind them, row 4, we've got Actonese and Carigli on debut. Row 5, Hofstee and Garley. Row 6 is Sumner and Hicks. Row 7 is Dog and Spit. And the back row, the Team Seal entry of Reichelt and the FRS Rookies entry of Raymond de Boer. Okay. Let's get ourselves to the helicam then. The cars will run through the left-right for the rolling start here for race 1. And plenty for us to get our teeth stuck into here over the course of the next 20 minutes. Just waiting for the cars to start rolling here. There's the fire of the engines, and we're away for the rolling start procedure. So it's Harkima at the front in the all-white car of Neom Falcom Racing. McDermott in the white and blue Sibir Team KRO with Biorad, and then behind them McDermott's teammate Williams and Tom Lightbody for Big P Team Eurotech. On the second row, there's the green flag. We're away, and Harkima's got a great run. Look at Lightbody there moving across already on Williams. Great start for the Scot as they come into turn 1. Harkima holds the lead with Lightbody and Williams almost trading paint here. We have got Manning losing out to Booth on the inside there. That is Joe Manning going backwards in the early phase of this race. He's now under pressure from Carigli as well. The championship leader is going backwards, but a great start from Harkima, who leads this race. So McDermott got away well as well, but Carigli seems to have made an almighty start in the Rookie Turtles entry alongside Booth now, and he started P8. Challenger for P5 here as we come into the chicane for the first time. So Booth riding one curb, Carigli riding the other, but Booth looks to have the advantage there as we come over the crest of the hill. Manning has got a lot of work to do here from P7 and Actonese in 8. In the background here, we've got some action between Garley and Hofstee, and that's Sumner! Sumner running too deep and into the back of Hofstee. Well, that one looking like it was all on Oscar Sumner there. Just too late on the brakes into the right-left, and will likely take a penalty with the stewards for that one. That drops both him and Sumner. Oh, sorry, not him and Sumner. Him and Hofstee to the back of the pack. Up at the front, it's Harkima from McDermott. McDermott seems to have had probably the better of the opening lap here, considering the advantage that Harkima had off the line. But look at Lewis Williams as well as we come over the line to complete the first lap here in Zolder. Williams looking very, very racy already. You see in the background, Lightbody's in 4th. McDermott right up behind the lead car here of Harkima. You can see how tail happy these M2s are. Both Williams and McDermott getting out of shape there in different parts of the same corner. In the very far background, we've got Booth in 5th ahead of Carigli, who's having a great run on his first FRS race in these cars. In fact, he's all over the American as they come down towards the chicane for the second time. Actonese and Manning nose to tail as well. Joe Manning struggling for pace here in the early part of this race. As we say, he's got it all to do if he wants to hang on to that championship lead by the end of this one. It is advantage Harkema at this point, but look how close it is up at the front. Williams is all over the road. So come down towards the sharp right-hander here for the second time. Look at Carigli and Buffonius in the background. Manning getting involved in this scrap as well as they come into the right-hander. And Carigli trying to go around the outside. Looks like he's getting the job done as well. That's an amazing overtake from Gianluca Carigli. He's got the inside line now, but Boof is going to try and fight back as we come into the final chicane. Thinks better of it, does the American. Great move there from Carigli. Very respectful and fair from Boof as well as we come across the line to complete lap 2. Harkema still leads, but barely from Conor McDermott. There's all sorts of dust being kicked up at the side of the road as these guys use all of the road and a little bit more. But there's a real sort of gap in the pack now between Actonese in 8th all the way back to Garley in 9th, who's the first John Lemon Trophy driver. The top 8 are going for it here. Oh, look at this. Boof's gone back a couple of places. So Boof has lost out to Manning and Actonese at the start of this lap. So Manning up to 6th, Actonese up to 7th, but now under pressure, or putting pressure on the championship leader on the outside as we come down towards the chicane. Can we brake late enough? Manning holds his line well and retains that 6th position as they bounce over the curbs. Garley is doing his best to hang on to the back of this group. And then there's a long gap back to Dog in 10th position. I think Hicks has been off the circuit. Here's Boof to the inside. Oh, and Boof a little bit too late. Incredible that he managed to avoid both Manning and Actonese there. No idea how that didn't end up in contact because Boof looked all sorts of out of shape there. At the front, it's still Harkema from McDermott from Lewis Williams. Harkema defending now as they come into the final chicane. McDermott looking to the outside. He's going to try and stick his nose up the inside for the right-hander. Williams has gone wide there, you might have seen, just in the background. But what a great scrap this is in the early stages here in Zolder. So Carigli now starting to bridge the gap to Lightbody ever so slightly. But Lightbody is not being dropped massively by this front 3 either. This is what we've seen a lot of from Lightbody this season. Just being in and around the top positions. Kind of doing a good job at staying out of trouble for the most part. And just picking up very consistent high point scores. We are on lap 4. Coming down towards the chicane for the 4th time. Still Harkema in the lead from McDermott, but McDermott looking very, very racy here in the early stages. And once again, the Scot right up behind Harkema as they come down towards the right, left, right. Here we come over the crest of the hill. McDermott's close, probably not close enough. It's one of those things with these M2s. You can be as close as you like, but you really do have to have a great run on someone to be able to overtake. Barring absolutely sending it in the braking zone. I think this group have now dropped Boof. Boof's fallen to a couple of seconds back from Actonese in P7, but we're going to focus on the fight at the front here as McDermott continues to hound Harkema as we come across to complete lap 4. So there's the top 7, all in the same camera shot. And in terms of the championship fight, I mean, we've got Harkema in 3rd place in the championship in the lead of this race. Lightbody, who's in 2nd place in the championship, is in 4th on the road here. And then the championship leader, Manning, as it stands, would lose that championship lead. And I think actually Harkema, with the pecking order currently as it is, would take over at the top of the standings here. You just see in the background Buffonius falling back towards Garley in this sort of mid part of the race. Further back, we've got the recovering Sumner making his way. He's made his way past Hofsty now and is on the back of Brad Spate. So Williams is now starting to be dropped a little bit by the front two, as McDermott seems to have a little bit more pace than Hark at this stage of the race, but can't find a way through. Of course, McDermott is back in 6th place in the standings, and if he wants to be able to challenge in these last 6 rounds, really needs as many wins as he can get. So I imagine we'll have been considering at this stage, and he's not got a lot to lose. Certainly you would feel of the two, Harkema's got more to lose here than McDermott if this was to end in the old proverbial fisticuffs. But here we come across the line to complete lap 5. It's just stringing out a little bit between this lead group, though. Look at Corrigley in the background there. Corrigley now really putting the pressure on Lightbody and having a great run in his debut TCC race. Bit of a moment there for Williams we just saw, but this is the fight I'm talking about, Corrigley and Lightbody. Corrigley is all over the back of the Scotsman, and of course, with this being his first race, Corrigley really doesn't have a horse in this fight, so he's the one who can afford to just send it, as we're going to see here, are we? Yes! Corrigley through, and up in a 4th position. Lightbody realising that he can't afford to get into a scrap with a driver who doesn't have any vested interest in this championship, is going to look on the inside as the Scot as they come down towards the chicane, thinks better of it, and I think that's probably sensible there. As I say, Corrigley can far more afford to have that end in a bit of trade and paint and banging wheels. So that's even better news for Harkema, who still leads this race, and one of his 2 rivals losing out to Corrigley there. Seen a couple of great overtakes already from Corrigley in the early part of this race. But McDermott's just dropped a little bit further back on this lap, hasn't he? He's not quite as close as he was. And it's now Williams who's the one of the front group who's really struggling for pace and beginning to become the cork in the bottle. Corrigley could be on for a debut podium here. Just a few mistakes creeping in for Lewis Williams. You can see sort of all over the curbs, and it's costing him a lot of time. The front two have bolted now as we come across the line to start lap 6. Yeah, Gianluca Corrigley absolutely flying here in the Rookie Turtles car. Williams a little wide again as we come into turn 2, and Corrigley now all over the back of the British driver, looking to the outside as they come towards turn 4. Williams holding it for now, but is there a switchback available, or will Corrigley just have better straight line speed as they come down towards the chicane? Williams is a bit less in the championship fight, so can afford to be a lot more robust, and that was a huge moment over the curbs there for the British driver. He's going to give that position up, but that was all 4 wheels fully airborne for Lewis Williams. What a moment in the race that was. Do a quick chat ban there for the bot, trying to sell us viewers. But that was proper takeoff stuff, wasn't it, for Lewis Williams? And he's looking to the inside again. Bit late on the brakes, and he's run wide, and that's going to open the door for Lightbody as they come into the hairpin. And the mistakes that we see ever so often from Williams are just creeping in a bit now. Lightbody is through, and Manning is the next car. In fact, he's indicating to the right. I think he's just keeping to one side. He's possibly going to pit the car, is he? No. Just allowing Manning to go through. So Williams dropping on this lap from 3rd position all the way down into 6th. Possible team orders there from the Team KRO crew. That is Actonese, who's a privateer entry, so no team orders there. In the Beamaroo in the background. So he's at the back of this queue now. Harkima's lead now 1.5 seconds. So looking pretty good for the American as we're on lap 8 now. But Actonese, 4th in the standings in the championship. Could use an overtake here. Needs more points than this. Is losing out to all of his championship rivals at this stage. Looks to have a good run on Williams here as we come down towards the chicane. Is he going to send it? Thinks about it. Not quite. But yeah, Williams winning the award for the biggest moment at the chicane there. All of a sudden, we've got a fight on the track between the top 2 in the championship. Lightbody in P4 has been dropped by Carrigley. Carrigley's beginning to make efforts towards Conor McDermott now. McDermott must have made a mistake because the lead is now 3 seconds for Harkima. It's come down to 2.1, so not entirely sure what happened there on the timing tower. But we've got the top 2 in the championship nose to tail now with Lightbody just ahead of Manning. And you can see in the background, Actonese all over the back of Williams. Actonese looking to the inside as they come into the final chicane. Williams is going to turn in on that one. A bit of contact there, a bit more contact there. And it's all a bit clumsy between that pair. Of course, this is a pair of drivers that we've seen nose to tail so often this season. Can barely separate them. But Actonese possibly not happy with how Williams turned in as they came into the left-hander there. I think he was entitled to some space. But look at Joe Manning now, all over the back of Lightbody and considering a move. Lightbody defense to the inside. Manning on the outside now, in the white and red car. Bit earlier on the brakes, looking for some sort of switchback or a better run through there. In the background, keep an eye on Williams and Actonese. Manning thinking better of it as they come into the chicane. So we're on the 9th lap. With lap times of around 1:42 or so, I think it was. We are probably not looking at too much longer in terms of the number of laps in this race. And it's still Harkima at the front from Conor McDermott. And then Gianluca Carrigley on debut in 3rd position. But the fight, there's 2 fights. In fact, here's Actonese to the outside of Williams. Williams defending that one well. But Actonese has got another run. And he's going to look to the outside this time. Tried on the left, that didn't work. He's going to try on the right this time. As we come into the final couple of corners. Williams all over the curbs again. But looks to have it defended. Harkima across the line. To start another lap. I said we've got about 4 to go here. Just looking at the replay ticker at the bottom of the screen. So there's 2 fights we're really focusing on at this stage. Manning continuing to push against Lightbody for P4. To the outside here. Is he going to go all the way around the outside, Joe Manning? Surely not. Well, they're side by side now as they come down the straight, and Manning looks to have the move done. Well, what a move that was. Just seemed to have all sorts of confidence around the outside there. Gets the move done on Lightbody and is up into 4th position. Does Lightbody have an answer? He's going to send it to the inside. And there's going to be, ever so close to contact there between the top 2 in the championship. But Manning comes away in front. In the background, Actonese and Williams continuing to fight. That's costing them time to the rest of the field. So these 2 are in their own little scrap now. As we've seen so often this season. And Actonese is a bit late on the brakes. There's going to be a little bit of argy-bargy there. Williams is off the circuit. And I think Actonese is going to wait. That one was his fault. It's going to allow Booth into the fight. But Harkima's lead as he comes across the line to start the 10th lap here in Zolder. Now close to 4 seconds. McDermott is suddenly falling back towards Keregley. Further back in the field, Lars Reichelt has come up into 9th position in the SEAL team car. That's actually a great run from the back of the grid. It was on the back row, of course, Reichelt. Qualified 15th. So this is the advantage of keeping out of trouble, keeping the old nose clean. But does have the generally faster Oscar Sumner to consider. But Reichelt is the lead John Lemon Trophy driver by some distance, actually, over Dog at this stage in proceedings. Still Williams and Actonese. They're pulling away from Booth again. Booth sort of not quite matching the pace, certainly in the race, of those ahead of him. So in something of a lonely 8th position, and a big moment there for Lewis Williams. Too much curb in the left-hander, all out of shape, and has lost a lot of momentum now. That is going to allow Actonese to get all over the back of that white and yellow BMW once again. Looking to the outside. We've seen Keregley go around the outside here on Tom Lightbody. Not going to happen this time. But the fight continues towards the final chicane. Of course, all that fighting has allowed Booth to catch up as well. Harkema still leads from McDermott. Now 4.3 seconds the gap. Actonese looking to the inside at turn 1. Well, it's a long corner. Williams, leaves about 0.99 cars width there. There was a little bit of wheel banging. And the fight continues now. Booth's involved in this and on the inside and almost contact, but not quite. I mean, it is as close as you can get to the line between fair and disaster here. Between these three, but it's great to watch.
You know what would make this better? A speedy hot dog.
You are damn right, Chubstep. A speedy hot dog would make this better. We've got a speedy Actonese now on the inside. As we come down towards the chicane. He's had to bail out of that because Williams was not pulling any punches there. And now look at this. The momentum from Booth. McDermott has dropped through. McDermott's just ahead of this. What has happened there to Conor McDermott? There is huge damage to that car. And now we got 4 trying to fit into 1 here. It's never going to work. Williams is ahead of McDermott. I'll run the replay back shortly to have a look at what happened there to McDermott. But we'll let this fight continue for now. Because McDermott has dropped from 2nd position all the way down into P6. Now Actonese knocking to the outside. And Williams has gone wide and McDermott's back through. Up into 5th position. What a scrap this is. Booth is still at the back of it. Who's going to blink first? Is anyone going to run into anyone else? Well, Actonese is trying to fight Williams, but now Booth's sticking the nose in there. And Actonese is through. He's ahead of Williams now as they come up towards the line to complete lap 12. And Williams is now defending. In fact, that's the end of the race. I thought there was 13 laps, so that was the final lap. Harkema's won. Apologies for that one. So Harkema's won the race from what was in the end Keregley in 2nd position. And Joe Manning gets a podium. So yeah, Harkema with a great win there. 6 seconds clear. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll run that back and just have a look at what happened here to Conor McDermott. I think he's had a huge moment at the chicane. On what was the final lap. Too much curb. Lost a car. And we're all the way over into the barrier. That is so disappointing for the Scotsman. Reversing onto the circuit just about. Trying to get it swung around. And what was looking like a certain P2 has turned to a P5 in the end. Well, what a dramatic end to the race that was. McDermott did come across the line in P5. Actonese got P6. And it was Williams in 7th place. Booth in 8th in the end. Just giving Williams a little bump across the line. And then Reichelt comes home in 9th position, holding off Sumner. Reichelt delighted with that John Lemon Trophy victory there. Last to first John Lemon Trophy challenge. And then Sumner rounding out the top 10 with Dog, Hofstede, Garley, Spit and De Boer. We did lose one car. I think that was Elliot Hicks that we lost during the course of that race.